I have a very hardworking family. Between all of our various activities, such as school, work, and extracurriculars, it's hard to find time for us to all come together. When we are together, it's almost impossible to find something that everyone enjoys doing. One thing, though, that we all can enjoy is baking cakes. It may seem a little crazy to do an entire speech on cake baking, but I've learned many, many lessons throughout the years that I've done this. The four most important lessons that I've learned are the importance of family, teamwork, patience, and of course, how to bake a great cake. The first and most important lesson that I've learned is how important family is in your life. My dad works in Wyoming and is gone generally most months out of the year, coming home once or twice a month. My mom works 10-hour days, getting up at 5 a.m. 5 to 6 days a week. My sister is in high school and is working 2 jobs, and I am taking 17 credits, working 30-hour weeks, and volunteering on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at my church. Time with friends, homework, and relaxation is generally how we spend our free time, but that's never enough. At some point, you need your family. They're the people in your life who aren't going to judge you, regardless of the situation. They know where you come from, and they've experienced the same situations as you, such as for my family moving from Colorado here. We are all able to really relate to the same experiences. Your family is also the only people in life that are going to show you endless love, regardless of any situation that you go through. They're there for you. Baking cakes gives us a chance to all come together, catch up, and remind us just how important we are in each other's lives and how much love that there truly is there. The next lesson baking cakes with my family has taught me through the years is teamwork. All of us have our strengths. My little sister Sarah is the best decorator. Whether it just be sprinkles or something like fondant, she is the one to go to. My mom is the best when it comes to frosting. She makes the best frosting. She's able to frost the cake without crumbling it at all. She's the go-to. I myself am great at greasing the pans. A cake will never stick if I'm in charge of greasing. I'm also the best with the mixer. I make the least mess, which is what we go for every time. My dad is not so much into the baking part, but he entertains us throughout the entire process. Together, we have also had to use teamwork to improvise. The cookbook that our recipe comes from is from my old town. A group of ladies just got together and put their recipes together. So it's the best food you'll ever have, but it lacks a lot of detail when it comes to the recipes. So through trial and error, we've been able to perfect it and just have it down completely. But without all of our opinions and different ideas, there's no way that our recipe would be what it is. Alone, the cake is much harder to make, it takes a lot longer, and it's never as good because we don't have each other's strengths to use. There's endless situations in life that are like this. People's strengths should always be used in a situation. Whether it be work, school, or any other thing, it'll come out so much better when you work with a team. As great as teamwork is, it's not always easy to do. That's why throughout this, I've also learned a lot about patience. My little sister and I fight all the time, whether it be her stealing my clothes, me stealing her makeup, her jumping out of a corner and scaring me, whatever it is, we argue. There's been multiple times where I've messed up doing something or she's messed up doing something while we bake and the other person gets really angry. We've learned that that makes it awkward for everybody in these situations and just to keep our cool. Not only that, me and Sarah fight, but also I've been in arguments with my parents or them with each other, and just putting that aside and putting those feelings aside, coming together, having patience, you forget about what the problem is. We don't only have patience with each other, but we also have to have patience while the cake bakes. It takes 30 minutes for it to bake, and during that entire time, you just smell it and want to eat it so bad. Having patience with that is not the easiest thing, but licking the bowl, making the frosting, all of those kinds of things definitely help pass the time. The most obvious thing that I've learned from cake baking is how to actually bake the cake. Our recipe that we use is 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, 2 sticks of butter, 5 cups of buttermilk, 4 tablespoons of cocoa, 2 beaten eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. In culinary, my teacher taught us that most recipes that are made are based on vanilla that comes from Mexico, which is stronger than the vanilla that we have in America. So she told us that we should always double the vanilla in baking. I told my family that. We did it. We love it. So generally we use 2 teaspoons of vanilla instead of 1. The actual baking of the cake, what we do first is we boil the water, the cocoa, and the butter. While that's going, we start mixing our flour and our sugar together. And then we let the boiling cool, not completely cool, just a little bit warm. Then we mix all of our ingredients together. Once that's mixed, we put it into a greased pan, which I do. And then we bake it for 30 minutes at 350. While it's baking, we start on my favorite part of the entire cake, which is the frosting. The frosting is 1 stick of butter, 6 tablespoons of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 pound of powdered sugar, and 2/3 cups of walnut, pecans, or really any kind of nut like that you like best. The final part of this is we get to actually eat the cake, which is the most enjoyable thing ever. People don't generally think about lessons that come with things such as baking cakes. The insight that I have on family, teamwork, patience, and baking in general is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. It's hard to find something that your entire family can do together, and I'm eternally grateful that mine has found ours. Whether it be a birthday, a potluck, a holiday, or we're just hungry, we're always happy to come together and bake a cake, and that is something that I will never pass up the opportunity for.